Well, hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of My Friend Dahmer. Let's do it. My Friend Dahmer is a 2017 American biographical drama film written and directed by Marc Meyers about the American serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. It is based on the 2012 graphic novel of the same name by cartoonist John Derf, Backderf, who had been friends with Dahmer in high school in the 1970s, soon before Dahmer began his killing spree. The film stars Ross Lynch, Wolff, Dallas Roberts, and Heche. Okay, first off, I want to say this is going to be a mildly spoilery video. I'm not going to cover everything in the movie, but there are a couple things I do need to talk about. The events that are shown in this movie, of course, took place in the late 70s, so, you know, but mild spoiler warning. If you want to tap out and come back after you've seen the movie, do so. Cool? Cool. First off, I want to say this isn't really a serial killer movie. It's about a guy who becomes a serial killer, but this film takes place when he's still in high school. He doesn't actually kill anybody in this movie, so I just wanted to put that out there. First, let's talk about the acting. Ross Lynch as Jeffrey Dahmer. He's really good. I don't think he was amazing, but he did a really good job of holding the film together. I did find his performance was a little bit one note, aside from one thing that he does frequently, and I'm going to talk about that later. But aside from that, he's kind of one note. He's always just kind of sullen and quiet. But hey, I don't know much about Jeffrey Dahmer. Maybe that's just what the guy was like, so maybe it's an amazing performance. Wolff plays essentially the guy who ended up writing the graphic novel that this movie was based on. Wolff plays that character, Derf, who is kind of Jeffrey Dahmer's best friend in high school. Again, I'll touch on that a little bit more later. I thought he did a really good job. He was very, very genuine. He was very, very likable, even though his character was kind of a depending on how you look at it. Heche. Haven't seen Heche in a while. She plays Jeffrey Dahmer's mom. Now, in the movie, they play her as sort of mentally unbalanced, and I seem to remember there being a line about her having been institutionalized or in the hospital or something like that. I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it says she dealt with a lot of extreme anxiety, but they didn't say anything else about that, so I don't know if that was maybe them over-dramatizing a little bit. I will say Heche plays the role pretty well. However, there are moments where she's going a little over the top. Winona Ryder's in Stranger Things Season 1 comes to mind. Like, it just gets to be a little bit much at times, but all in all, I thought she was doing a really good job. The standout for me, though, was Dallas Roberts as Lionel Dahmer, who is, of course, Jeffrey Dahmer's father. And this guy is just, he's a broken man. You know, he works hard to try and keep the family together, but he and his wife, they're having a falling out. They end up getting divorced in the film, or at least separated. And he's just struggling to keep it all together while seeing things about himself that he doesn't like, seeing them in his son, Jeffrey. It's a great, wonderful performance. Now, there is one character in this movie, I don't know if this character was real, maybe they made him up for the flick, but he's like the high school drug dealer, the stoner character. This character drove me nuts. I mean, he was the standard, you know, he had the long hair, and I guess he kept the joints that he sells in his, like, shirt pockets. But every time you see him, he's just like, you guys want to get high? He's always checking his shirt pockets. It was just like, this is so stupid. This is so stereotypical, and you're doing this thing again and again. Stop. That was the worst thing about the movie for me. I will also say, and it's weird, because this isn't the kind of movie that you would really even think much about sound design. The sound design in this movie really stood out to me because it was really, really good. It sounded like real life. Like certain noises, like the moving of a garbage can, was louder than you would normally think it would be in a movie, but that's what it would be like in the sort of tight confines of this scene. I really liked it. I will say, if you're an extreme animal lover, I mean, who doesn't love animals, aside from Jeffrey Dahmer, but if you have problems with, not that there's a lot of violence against animals, at least that are alive in this film, but we do see Jeffrey Dahmer picking up roadkill and like dissecting it, and if you just can't handle that kind of stuff, you're gonna want to skip this film. I also think, I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but I did find the ending a little hokey and a little obvious. I don't know where else they could have gone with it. I don't know how else they could have ended it, but I'm not a Hollywood screenwriter. It just seemed really, really on the nose. When you see the movie, maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. This is a really, really sad film. And it's a weird thing to say, and I'm not saying I feel sad for Jeffrey Dahmer. No, Jeffrey Dahmer was a psychopath, but within the context of this film, I feel sad for this character, this young Jeffrey Dahmer, who is not yet a serial killer, because if you look at his life, at least the way it's portrayed in this film, it's pretty brutal. He's got no friends. His family life is falling apart. His mom is a little bit crazy. His dad has moved out. He's realizing that he's gay and like the late 70s in small town Ohio. I don't know how well that would have gone over. And he knows he's weird. He knows he does these things with animals. He knows that's not normal. Now, I mentioned he's mostly one note in the movie, but he does do this one other thing. And something that Dahmer used to do, I read up on this. This is true. They didn't make it up for the movie. He called it pranking people, and he would be walking down the high school hallways and just out of nowhere go like, "Gah! Meh!" and then fall down on the floor and pretend to have a conniption fit or a seizure. And he did it for attention, and he did it to amuse people. And this is actually how he ends up making friends with Derf and a couple of the other dudes, because they think he's really funny, and they start the Jeffrey Dahmer fan club, which is a really macabre thing to say in retrospect. But the other really sad aspect of the film is, while we do see that his friends do sort of genuinely like him, they also kind of think of him as a circus act, and he's aware of that too. So between his family life, knowing he's gay, knowing he's weird, knowing his friends think of him as a circus act, it's a pretty painfully sad film. It is by no means one of the best movies of the year. I really enjoyed it, but it's not incredible. It's got its own problems, but it's certainly worth seeing if you think you can handle the really dark subject matter. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to give My Friend Dahmer, and I think I'm going to give My Friend Dahmer a out of 10. Trust me, it'll make sense when you see the movie. Anyway, now I want to know, have you seen My Friend Dahmer? What did you think of it? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, and click subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, all that fun stuff. If you'd like to do so, you can click the Courtshake logo at the bottom right of your screen. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.